name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and this guy here, I don't know. Today we have a versus video. Glenlivet, 12 years of age, double cask versus, which one is it?
The Dalmore 12. And by the way, I'm Ben. So yeah, today we have a little bit of a versus video. So it's gonna be a bit of a devil's advocate. I'm gonna be on the side of Dalmore, and you're gonna be on the side of that cheap one. And yeah, so let's start off with Dalmore. Great heritage. There once was a king named King Alexander III, and he went hunting in Scotland, and then a stag came charging at him, and he couldn't defeat him. So there was that the proprietor of the Dalmore distillery, and he saved the king. And for saving the king, he let him have the royal stag as an emblem on his distillery and on his products. So now only Dalmore is allowed to have the stag on their bottles. So you can distinguish any other bottle, and you can't kind of, they have a trademark on that.
Feudalism. We're living in democracy.
Royalty.
So we have the Glenlivet, not Glenlivet, the Glenlivet. And that's because in former times there was the Glenlivet distillery, the major best of all distillery in the Speyside, and in the Livet, in the valley of the Livet, the River Livet, they had this distillery, and all other distilleries in the vicinity named themselves with the additional word Glenlivet. So there had been names Glen this and that, Glenlivet. So Glenlivet was is the major distillery in that region, and the demand for that whiskey is so high worldwide. They belong to the top 5 single malt whiskies worldwide, and they are the leader in the market in the US, and they are so frequently asked that they just doubled their capacity with a new distilling house. So this is the real leader. And
Mainstream.
Michael Jackson, or was it Jim Murray, one of those two, gave this whiskey 95 points. Perfect.
Michael Jackson, the king of pop.
No.
Yeah, Dalmore, the 12 is Dalmore has already for 150 years. The Dalmore has set the standard in multi-cask maturation. So we are the leaders in multi-cask maturation. So this mixture of sherry casks and bourbon casks.
No.
Heritage
this distillery was.
Here it says.
It says you're good in reading. This distillery was founded in 1824, and Dalmore was 1839 or 8.
430. I don't know.
Later.
And
the Glenlivet always had ex-bourbon casks and ex-sherry casks.
Yeah, but Dalmore 150.
Yes.
So, and the master distiller at the Dalmore, here it says the Dalmore.
Oh, okay.
At the Dalmore.
But you're writing it that small.
Because Dalmore is the part. Has Richard Patterson as their master blender, and if you have a whiskey from Richard Patterson,
that counts.
That is really good. So who does your whiskey currently make?
I don't know.
So, should we start trying?
Well, but is it more important the one who makes or the one who consumes? Democracy. Not a single person.
To the consumer. I've been to Shanghai at the top bar of one of these skyscrapers, and there were guys going around with tumblers and ice in it, and there was a friend that was like, and I saw it was a Glenlivet.
There you can see how well known Glenlivet is around the world.
And the next guy with a bottle of Coke. No, the bottle of Coke wasn't there.
Yeah, will we have a dram?
Yeah, definitely.
So we start with the Luther, the best later.
This is an exhausting format. Wonderful bottle. You pour that then. Okay.
I say nothing to that one.
So what you have nothing?
No, you're first.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's first thing that comes to your mind is a bit of chocolate and a bit of fruits.
Supermarket chocolate?
No, it's a milk chocolate, definitely. It's one of these creamy, milky chocolate, a bit of a milk mix, cacao thing going on. Cream and not just a little bit, also a good amount of fresh fruits combined with juicy berries, cherries, and a little bit of dried fruit as well. So there's a quite remarkable amount of flavor in this glass. Wonderful.
Yeah, it stinks. No, does not stink. But make it that way that you're make your Laudetio to the Dalmore and I'm doing to the Glenlivet.
Okay.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
This one is expensive, isn't it? It costs around 50. If that taste is good enough for 50.
It's wonderful. No, the flavor that you had in your nose now transforms a little bit more into a bittersweet chocolate, a high cacao chocolate, like a 60%, 70% chocolate. And it's velvet smooth combined with these nice fruity dried
You're
fruit
a whiskey
flavors.
salesman, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. And I love it.
Okay, now we take the other one.
Yeah, quality costs money.
The best comes in the end. So it's very precious, so I pour less.
I don't need that much from this one.
This one is fruity, exotic, citrus, fresh, grassy, light, pleasant nose. So this is why these Asian people like it. It's very well rounded. It shows depth, but no harsh, unpleasant notes in it. Yeah, a little vanilla showing through, and in the back there's some spicy aromatic note. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's strange that you can have a whiskey where there's so small flavors in there, and then you have that, I don't know, harsh oak distracting you from everything. I don't know. It's strange that you have a low intensity with a strange distracting smell from the cask.
No. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Again, the citrus note, together with the rising spiciness of the wood, and little coffee note to the back, so it's rewarding that you swallow this little sip and showing you all the depth of this whiskey. And it's harmonic. It shows a constant flow of aroma and tastes until the very end, the aftertaste. So this is very complex and rewarding in all phases of the savoring. And it's affordable. You just pay a little bit over 30, so it's really a bargain compared to this other one.
So you call this a double oak?
Yeah, definitely.
Not much sherry going on. So it's, for me, it feels like a little bit of a bourbon cask whiskey that has not been matured well enough. Yeah, that's my verdict.
So now we're stopping this
Yep.
farce.
Okay, let's give our honest opinion, not just the devil's advocate. Both good whiskeys,
Yeah, definitely.
but still I have to say, not the devil's advocate, I do like the Dalmore a bit more. Because I'm just more in the mood for a high sherry whiskey.
Yeah. So I like the Glenlivet really more than the Dalmore 12. Really?
I haven't stopped yet. No.
No, really, because it's not though has not those many edges and intensity attacks like the Dalmore has.
It's the Glenlivet is beautiful,
Balanced
whiskey that is
And the
has a
aftertaste-
little bit of a sherry touch to it, and this
the-
one is a real.
And the aftertaste is not that bitter or what you said. I think it's just harmonic, little
Yeah, it's
spiciness
awesome.
in it. And I would say the Dalmore has, say, 15 to 20% sherry cask, and the Glenlivet has 10 to 15. So there is sherry cask influence in the Glenlivet. They call it double oak, but the intensity is not that deep and strong as it is with the Dalmore.
Yeah, a little bit of influence with the Glenlivet, and the Dalmore is just a lot of influence from the sherry cask. And today is maybe tomorrow I'd like the Glenlivet more. But I would say, as for beginners wise, the Glenlivet would be more favorable, because the Dalmore, as you said, it does have a few edges. It is demanding. It is complex and full of in the aftertaste might be a bit too overwhelming.
Yeah. At our company, the Dalmore is 17 euros more expensive than the Glenlivet, and I would say 10 euros, 12 euros would be the difference from my personal view, and the rest of that, the price difference, comes from the from the bottle. It's not a standard bottle. It's more expensive to produce such massive bottles, and you have to pay for the adding the stack to the bottle. You have to solder, to glue it. So there is a little bit more money in the bottle and the appearance. So,
But it looks good in the bar, though.
it looks good in the bar, at home, as well as in the real bars. But the Glenlivet is more suited for the empty pockets of the the connoisseurs. So I think it's very well. Both are very well made, and if you have a look at our whiskey database on Whisky.com, where all the people give their ratings, both got the exact same rating of 3.7. So they omit the influence of the price. Yeah.
It's both are wonderful bottles. If you're more into the sherry side, go more with the Dalmore. If you're more into the bourbon cask side with a slight sherry influence, go with the Glenlivet. So for me, Dalmore is a little bit nose ahead. Is it worth that money? Depends on the depth of your pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, if you like more versus videos, then give a thumbs up, and see you next time.